What is a really inappropriate question you have always wanted to ask? NSFW. Does anyone else wait for the final pee after pooping to confirm it's all done? Or is that just a thing I do? Why the duck are you wearing Skechers with a suit to work every day, Andrew? Did my dad ever shoot anyone in Vietnam? I asked him once when I was little and he said no. But what else was he gonna tell a little kid? How far away from the anus can poop be on your skin before cleaning it with just paper is no longer okay? Why do you play music loudly out of your phone? Is it because you can't afford headphones? Do you figure you'd be the DJ for the whole train car to make everyone's commute more fun? Do you think the music is so good and revolutionary that it must be shared with everyone? I'm genuinely curious about the thought process here. So if I'm at a rap concert and everyone is screaming the lyrics to the song and I'm white, am I allowed to say the N-word of it in the song? How the hell did you get this job, you ignorant, stupid, useless, lazy duck? Even though most places don't have assisted suicide laws, just how often do medical professionals in end-of-life care administer painkiller dosages larger than what one would expect for palliative care, or even the double effect? What do people who have actually seen their parents murdered in front of them think about Batman and how popular he is? How badly does childbirth mess up your body? Is it ever to the point where a woman regrets having children, and or does it ever go fully back to normal? What are the other things that happen that they don't tell you about? Can white people explain this? How much money do you make? Like, what do I do with girls' nipples? And how should I touch boobs? I thought boobs were amazing, then I got a girlfriend and now they are just wildly confusing. Why is every Latino neighborhood I've lived in so damn loud? Is there some cultural stigma against playing music that can't be heard by the whole block? Do some gay B people get turned on by themselves? Edit. Added B. So, my aunt and uncle are cousins. First cousins. And they married each other and had 6 kids. We don't talk about it. I'm not even sure if my family knows I know. Anyway, I really want to ask. So, aunt and uncle, how did you two meet? Why do people stay in miserable relationships? Not abusive ones where one partner is afraid to leave, but where both partners just aren't happy with the relationship or each other? When you eat someone's ass, does it taste a little like crap? And do people mind kissing someone who's just eaten their ass? Guys, when you walk or run, can you feel your junk moving around in your pants? I asked my husband this a few days ago as a joke and he couldn't stop laughing and didn't answer my question. I did in all seriousness mean it as a joke, but, well, I guess I'm curious now. What's the proper technique for trimming my pubes? I want them to look neat and trim, but not itchy. Update, thanks for all the advice. I think what I'm going to do an initial trim with the scissors, follow up with a body trimmer and see how it looks. This has actually been really helpful. Is it true that the food you eat after the first time you, deliberately, kill someone is the best tasting food of your life? Do all women get hornier on their period? If so, is it a lot? How does the brain get so drunk and immune to duck almost anybody? Would you please sit on my face? I'd like to weasel my tongue up inside your V. IDK if inappropriate, but still curious. Why do most old women have the same short puffy hair? On most college sports websites, they'll list the height and weight of pretty much all male student athletes, but exclusively the height for the equivalent women's teams. Is the only reason for that to protect their feelings? Or is there an actual reason? Do they supply condoms on the International Space Station? I mean, you don't want Houston to have a problem if it gets a little saucy up there. Can we just sit here and not talk, please? I always wanted to ask a Chinese person to open her eyes as wide as possible to see what they looks like. How do blind people sexual orientation works? Like, if they have been blind from birth and have never seen neither man nor woman, how does the sexual orientation develop to straight, gay, bi, etc? I've always wondered. Why is there such a social stigma around men needing drugs such as Cialis? And why is it it's so expensive? I've got a friend dealing with this right now and it's so ridiculous. I don't care. Can't see why anyone else would. Why do a lot of obese people, especially women, wear tight-fitting clothes that accentuates their fat bodies? This feels mean to ask. Do black people get sunburned tan? Where are the glory holes in my area? Why can't I get hard when I snort coke? Do all the parents here know when their sons are masturbating? Now that I am an adult, the behavior seems way obvious when I see them skulking away to the bedroom only to come back and raid the fridge 10 minutes later. But as a teen, I thought I was getting away with it. Do parents ever have a favorite child or prefer one child over the other? And if something horrible were to happen, example, house fire, would they save their favorite child over the other child? Does studied for her pleasure really yield her pleasure? What becomes of Muslim women when they die and go paradise? Are they one of the men's 40 virgins? Do they get 40 male virgins? Not all that inappropriate, but can barbers at black barber shops cut white people's hair well? Would it have to be a certain hairstyle? Would they care if a white guy comes in for a haircut? The closest barbers to me look like they're all black, but I haven't gone in there yet. Do black people get hotter on a warm day than white people? Black things absorb heat while lighter colors reflect it, right? I've never had the balls to ask. And even if I did, how would they know? They can't compare it. Medical people, docs, nurses, techs, etc. Have you ever had sexual thoughts while examining someone? I know the standard answer is we see enough gross old diseased genitals, it's not sexy, but I just call BS on that. There was a story going around about a nurse who got fired for taking a picture of a patient's D, so I have to think occasionally they see a D or set of tits that activate their baser instincts. I desire honesty. I have always wanted to ask a really obese person how she manages to wipe their butt after pooping. I am 40 pounds overweight and I can just barely reach to get it all clean after. How do they do it? After Nazi Germany tried to sterilize the disabled, or discourage them from reproducing, does Germany now have a lower percentage of disabled people than the rest of Europe? Do identical twins have the same size D? I have a close friend that I also have a 6 with whose D is quite large, and I've always wondered if his twin brothers is similar. I've just always been too afraid to ask. People who change genders always piqued my curiosity. It's just such a taboo topic no one talks about and a lot of people are uncomfortable with, and I have so many inappropriate questions. My main question is, if a male to female person who has had bottom surgery done to have a V, do they have to wash the inside of the V daily because it's technically not self-cleaning? Does the new V sweat? Whenever I go to clean the bathroom at work and I see the toilet splattered in it, I just want to ask, how in the duck does that happen? Did your parents never teach you how to take it? Is it done on purpose? Did you eat Taco Bell? Did you try to it standing up and let it start spurting out like a garden hose? I've never had it so messy that it somehow gets on the underside of the seat. It baffles me how people can create such abominations. What the hell is going on in the black abyss of your arsehole to spur on such unholy wrath? When you are drunk, do you realize you should not drive? Do any other women out there have a hard time figuring out if they had an orgasm or not, or just really mild orgasms? Like, I'll be super into it and then I guess kind of feel a release, but almost just like a sigh instead of like fireworks, and then feel satisfied and like everything is too sensitive to keep going. Or do people just exaggerate how good orgasms feel? Does it vary person to person? Throwaway. Do all girls have hair on their arseholes and how do you get rid of it? This is a vastly under-asked question. Everyone talks about pubes but never this. How the duck is 2.5 men successful? As a virgin, how does it feel to have a 6? Morbid question. If there's a fatal accident, such as a car accident, how do they go about notifying next of kin? Thankfully, I've never had to find out. Does being an organ donor decrease your chances of surviving a really bad accident? Why are you texting on the duckine highway, you duck? Do other dudes pull back their foreskin when they pee? When a guy pees, if he doesn't hold onto his shaft, will it move like a snake, like when you don't hold onto a water hose? Looked up Even Stevens intro for reference. Do gay people ever say no hetero after they compliment straight people? One of the main reasons I hang out on Reddit is because others will ask those questions I've always wanted to ask. Yes, but what kind of cancer is it? Just too curious nosy for my own good. To someone who has lost an eye, on the day that you lost the eye, when exactly did it stop being fun and games? Why do porn stars slap the dude's D on her tongue? What do deaf women sound like while having sex and an orgasm? Is it like whale songs vol? I. Do you want to just have a six? Seems kind of weird. I can't ask good friends to just have random sex. I never bring it up. We're good friends. Neither of us are ugly. We're not really in love and are both single. Just duck and go back to friend it, same as always. How do people who put really big toys up their butts not end up with hemorrhoids and anal fissures?